Hey man, how you been?
I am doing pretty darn good. How about yourself, man?
Not bad.
Good.
Bad.
Good stuff.
It's a pretty fun CLG filled weekend.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of CLG stuff going on this weekend.
All right, let's get right into it. This is episode 25 of the CLG Faithful podcast.
25.
One more, and we will be doing this for half a year.
It's crazy to think that it's been half of a year we've been doing this. So we started in January, or no, we started February, the week of end of January, 1st of February. That's crazy.
Something like that, and yeah, we've been doing it. Haven't missed a single
week. Nope,
we
have not. It's been amazing.
And you know what? I'm gonna save a little bit for next week, but I just want to point out, you know how we're in the podcast network, the TSM and C9 mode?
Yep.
Well, guess which podcast network hasn't been keeping up?
Both of them, but mostly TSM.
Yeah, that's right. We're winning in something.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of winning, let's talk about our game versus Echo Fox.
Yeah. That was, it was straight up winning. That's basically what that was.
So for my notes, I literally wrote lol Echo Fox lol. And that's it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I mean, that's about what it was. It was a complete and utter stomping by CLG. Both games. It was really great to watch, and kind of was that thing where, basically you were hoping that that's how the whole weekend was going to go. Because you walk in, you're like, damn, we just lost a big game to Dignitas, but you know what? Coming back on this against Echo Fox and just kind of crushing them really, really hard, it felt amazing.
Feels good, and also did beat TSM.
That's right.
It's not like they're just this random team that beat us.
No, exactly. Dignitas is actually even though their record isn't showing that they're a top 2 or 3 team right now.
They're guaranteed top 4. I think
they are basically.
Or I'm predicting top 4. I should say.
Yeah. Most people are predicting them top 4 just because they're coming back. They're getting really into the swing of things, and they're playing really well.
Right. So let's just talk a little bit more about this game.
Yeah.
What we have. We have Aphromoo on Soraka.
Yep.
We have Maokai jungle this time.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that top lane, but Dardoch pulled that out in jungle. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then we have, I don't know what Echo Fox is doing with their 10-man roster. They've got Brandini in top lane. They've got Grig in the jungle. They've got Mash as AD carry. I'm not really sure what they're trying to accomplish, but
I think at this
point,
they're just trying to kind of see what they can do with what they have. I mean,
it could also be argued that maybe they're trying to say, hey, we're giving people LCS experience, getting ready for, academy teams and franchising and all that and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they're just trying to bring in a little bit of new experience, new blood. Let them see what it's like on the stage. At this point, they've already, they might be able to make playoffs if they win every game that they come across now. But
Yeah, well, so to continue our heavily nuanced discussion and in-depth analysis of this game, this is on 7.14.
Yep.
So it's the patch that no one likes.
Fiesta patch.
Yeah, so we alluded a little bit to this last week, and this is the patch where Lethality gets a buff, and Duskblade itself is just broken of an item.
I just realized.
And you're expecting... Go ahead.
Between Game 1 and Game 3... Echo Fox changed 3 members. Sorry, Game 1. Game 3 didn't exist.
Yeah, Game 2.
Game 1 and Game 2, Echo Fox changed 3 of 5 members.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. They put all their starting roster back. But yeah, so this is the patch 6.14 where
7.
Everything's screwed up. Or 7.14. Lethality on Duskblade. Lethality got a buff. Duskblade is stupid. You're expecting assassins, but instead we're just seeing
tanks.
Jhin and tanks.
Yep.
League of
Tanks and Jhin. Maokai, Jarvan. I mean, You got to say though,
Dardox, Jarvan hurts.
Yeah, Dardox, Rengar in game 2, 9, 1, and 6. I had a chubby.
So this game was actually won around the 9 to 12 minute mark, something like that, when Darshan has a fantastic TP bot. So Aphromoo gets a great 3-man Bard ult, and then Darshan TP's bot during that time and gets a 4-man ultimate route.
Yep. It was brutal.
And, CLG gets 4 kills right there. I think it was first tower and the Ocean Drake. And the game's pretty much won from there.
It was. I mean, at that point, they were up 5k gold at like 11 minutes. 11 minutes into the game.
It was disgusting.
And you're already up 5k. Yeah, I mean, in the end, we snowballed. We were over 15k gold on them at the end of the game. It was bad.
I want to point out who he went 12-0-9 that entire weekend, or that entire series.
He didn't die once against Echo Fox. It's pretty sweet. He actually had almost the exact same score. He was 603 and 606. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's move on to Immortals, because there's nothing left to
really
talk about Echo Fox.
Exactly. So CLG against Immortals. Now we were talking about how there was the tank meta, and they decided, I mean, right now it's super powerful. Cho'Gath, when combined with more CC, Cho'Gath.
Wait, did we sub in Hotshot?
Not quite yet. It wasn't Hotshot in Italy. GG. Unfortunately, it could be back then. Like, I mean, I was watching back in season 1.
Season 1 top lane Cho'Gath.
I was watching back in season 1 when the crowd was just Riot employees on their days off clapping really, really loudly. They went on record saying that. Freak said that live on air. So it was Darshan's on Cho'Gath. Now, this is normally a good thing. Cho'Gath is really good, but Cho'Gath
really good in this patch.
He's really good in this patch, but he needs other CC to help him out. And the issue here is because his Q, the knock-up, it's such a long channel time, or not even channel time, just like wind-up time on the Q ability that...
It's also very predictable.
Exactly. Everyone can get out of it. No problem. You save your flash, you save your dash, whatever, you get out. They didn't have any real other CC aside from Huhi on Talia, and really the only CC that they have for that is the wall, the guaranteed CC. So it ended up being that Darshan couldn't make as big of a splash in the game because it was so hard for him to really be able to land his QW combo, which is the knock up into a silence. So I think that's really what kind of hurt us in game 1. Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't help that Smithy got an amazing 3-person flag and drag at bot lane tower. I mean, Smithy, man, I love you, but you flag and drag your old team, man. You got all of them, all 4 people. I think it's actually 4. I think it was a 4-man.
It was
bad. It was awful.
I mean, it was nasty, and if you're an Immortals fan, you'd love that. But Stixay on the Tristana.
Yeah. Stixay,
if you had some slight criticism of that.
Stixay, if you're listening, take a note. Double if learn this. Don't rocket jump forward. Don't. Just if you think about it, don't. If you think
it worked for Uzi back in season 3.
If you think it's the right move, it's the wrong move.
It worked for Uzi in season 3.
But that's Uzi. It just there was multiple times where he rocket jumped forward to get a kill, and okay, you know what, you get a kill, but then you die, and you were the main source of damage. Dardoch was getting destroyed 3-5-4. Stixay, like, you needed to stay alive for that damage.
I mean Dardoch didn't play that.
He didn't play badly. No.
He wasn't the reason why we lost.
But it was the issue that Rengar just, if he doesn't get ahead, he doesn't do it.
He's very snowball.
Yes, exactly. If he's not ahead, he's basically not doing anything, and that's kind of what ended up happening.
Right. Yeah. So we lose that fairly handily.
Yeah.
And then we move on to game 2. Okay. game one we did fight back a little
Yes.
bit, but then it was pretty stompy after a while. We move on to game two, and this one, Immortals has a really interesting draft.
Yeah. So they had picked Renekton third, and then right after, so the final two picks, they picked up Renekton and Galio. Galio was their last pick. Now, okay, Renekton Galio sounds great, but those are your two solo lanes. You have no real damage there. So then your jungler is Jarvan, who in this meta is going to go pretty high tank with lots of lethality, but not going to be a crazy damage dealer. And then all you have left is Cody-san playing Jhin and Thresh playing Ole. Or Ole playing Thresh. So their team had no damage. They had great crowd control and just, ability to find a pick, but they had no damage to follow getting that pick up. And then who did Darshan pick?
The Darshan split push special.
And the first blood in game 2.
Dude, that was so great. So, I want to say it was Galio that came top.
It was.
To help Renekton gank the Fiora.
Yep.
And then Flame tries to go for the all-in onto Darshan.
Yep.
Darshan fights back just enough. And then he gets, I want to say it was a timely riposte.
It was.
Just enough damage.
It was just enough damage, and it was the slow.
Then as Galio launches backwards to go and use his taunt with the dash forward, Darshan flashes away from it, and he still gets first blood on Renekton.
Oh, man. Oh, right in the middle of the thing, too. Nefarious' internet has been relatively bad today, so I think that's a rip on his internet, guys. I apologize. So I'll continue where he leaves off. So Galio essentially comes up and is about to use his taunt Q. He throws the Q out and it misses because Darshan is flashed. So Darshan has hit a riposte and is given enough of a slow onto the Renekton that the tower shots actually finish him off. And probably my favorite part is that they played the mic audio out afterwards, and as soon as that riposte hit, Aphromoo was like, "Don't worry, bud, you got it," and boom, first blood comes across. Fantastic. So Darshan gets the amazing game as Fiora. He's 8-2-6, and they did sum in Omargod for game 2. Not really sure why. Dardoch wasn't a really big issue in that game. But they brought Omargod in anyway. And he gets to pick up on the Gragas. He gets pretty big. He went 5-3-15. He was in on over half the kills. It was great. And then the Talia mid pick by Huhi. It really showed that his play on Talia is very solid. It's nothing like Aurelion Soul levels, obviously. I mean, that's being permabanned against him at this point. However, his Talia play, he went 7-3-15. Fantastic. But Stixxay on Kalista. Now, we've seen him play a little bit in the previous weeks, and Kalista wasn't really that great, mainly because of the meta in there for so many assassins and lots of mobility. But now that you got a lot more tanks in there, you don't need as much mobility because you're probably going to get CC'd anyway. But oh man, those spears were doing work. And Aphromoo picked up the old Blitzcrank. He had some really, really good hooks in this game. Going 1-5-22. I think just the biggest issue I have is that it's Blitzcrank. And if he gets that hook, great. But if he misses it, that's like 15 seconds of being useless. Anyways, we win game 2. Fantastic. Pretty handedly, 73,000. We were almost up 20k gold at the end. It was pretty good. Then we move on to game 3. So, game 3, they kept Omargod in. Now, he did win. That's fantastic. Keep him in. But when it comes down to it, we know that Dardoch can perform under pressure. So, hopefully, I don't know. They're not really telling anyone why they keep Omargod in or whatnot. But you know what? I'm not going to touch on that because I can't pretend to even really know what's going on behind the scenes. So, in this game, it was actually a really nice matchup. Though what ended up happening was, I think they kind of Immortals baited CLG into picking Caitlyn. So every other game, Caitlyn was banned. And Caitlyn is being banned super hard because of this current meta with high lethality. She can just destroy people, especially with Duskblade. Here we go. And he's back.
I'm alive.
He's alive, so I'm just talking about game 3 right now. And
Nope.
Next. We'll pass on. I just want to say I think we got baited on the Caitlyn pick. That's all I'm gonna say. We got baited on.
Omar Guard was an interesting choice to keep in game 3.
I did mention that as well. Omar God.
And for game 2, I think you probably mentioned that.
So it's it was a little but you know what? I think we got super hard baited with the Caitlyn pick because they didn't ban it at all, and Stixay they insta-locked it. It was up, and they took it.
I think Caitlyn's fine though. I think the bigger issue personally was Blitzcrank. I just thought that Blitzcrank was very low impact this game.
Whereas, like I said last game, he was super high impact, 1-5-22. This game, Afromu goes 1-5-7 and misses. There was actually a point where they attempted in game 2 I'm gonna say it straight up. It's a bullshit play, where Afromu would throw his hook, and he flash hooks, and then Callista ults the Blitzcrank back, and it missed. So not only did they blow the flash hook, they also blew the Callista ult. So that gave Immortals like 3 big cooldowns they knew were down.
That's a huge window of opportunity.
It is.
I agree.
Anyways, game 3, we lost to Immortals. That sucks. Immortals, so...
Cody Sun on the Jhin all 3 games.
Really... again, we should have taken Jhin. I know Stixay he's not a fan of Jhin as much, for sure. I understand that. But you guys you need to ban it, or we need to pick it. And it was up, and I mean, it was picked first. But we had first pick, and we took Caitlyn. Again, in this meta with a Jhin. Like, well, whatever.
Yeah. The only thing is now that Immortals is in sole possession of first place, we lose the head-to-head.
They have the head-to-head 2-0, so that means that we need to basically win everything, and we still have to come up against TSM.
We still have to play against Phoenix 1, Dignitas, TSM, and there's a 4th member who I cannot remember.
It might be Liquid.
No, we don't play Liquid twice. I think it's Echo Fox again.
A 3rd time? Oh, it might be. That was I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was the first time we played against Echo Fox.
I don't know right offhand. But yeah,
I can check that real quick. So next week we play up against Envy.
Yep.
Huh.
Envy and
Phoenix 1.
And then the final week 9, we play against Dignitas and TSM. Yeah.
So that's a tough final week.
It is a tough final week because it's going to be coming down to basically who's getting first. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
or second.
First and second. Immortals plays Liquid next week, so that's a free win. They also play Dig, so that could be a big decider match as well. Because we'll be playing Envy, who are in the up and up, but easily defeatable, I think, by CLG. Dignitas Immortals will be a big game. And then we also play Phoenix 1, who is... you can't write Phoenix 1 or Envy off because they do have good players and they have those moments of brilliance where they take down big teams.
On the other hand, when you lose to Team Liquid...
Yeah. Well, we never lost to Team Liquid.
Huh. All right, so...
Oh, Envy lost to Team... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
And Phoenix 1. They lost to Liquid as well.
Yeah, Phoenix 1 lost to Liquid, too. They had a 2-0 weekend, man. Holy crap. I didn't even know that.
So just to end your thoughts on the matchup and schedule, who do you think CLG is right now? I personally feel like they're playing around as a 4th place team.
Okay.
Behind Immortals, TSM, and Dignitas right now.
Yep. I can see where you're going with that. I think CLG is going to be 3rd. I don't think we're going to get the bye just because of our final games. I think it's going to be Immortals, TSM, CLG, and Dignitas, top 4. Clearly, that's the top 4 teams this season.
I'm saying we're playing like the fourth.
Okay, you're saying we're playing like it. I
think we have the potential to get second place.
Okay.
It all comes down to
if we can beat TSM and Dignitas.
Whether we can get the head-to-head ties against those two.
And it's going to be a big thing. The other issue comes down to a lot of ours went to game 3s. So if the head-to-head is 1-1, it comes down to your win-loss record. And CLG has played a lot of best of 3s. And TSM and Dignitas have both won quite a few games, 2-0.
Yeah. All right. So we can talk about the path to Worlds here. You think we should just save that for later episodes?
I think we should. Once playoffs are around, we should move it in because there's so much we could talk about and so many if, ands, or buts that.
Plus, then we'll know who's at what place in the standings, and we can see the matchups. Yeah. But I mean, the TLDR is that COG has to win the split or they have to win the gauntlet. Yeah.
We have to.
That's basically
win the split or we have to win the gauntlet in order to go. We can't get it on points because we got next to no points last split. So we
can, but it's near impossible.
Yeah, it basically means that TSM and Immortals and Dignitas have to go 0-4, and a whole bunch of other people need to go 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go the specifics.
We'll go with that. Maybe we'll do a special episode on the path to Worlds once playoff comes up. We'll do a whole thing. We'll do like a big discussion about it, and that'll just be like a really great episode.
Yeah. So let's move on to a little bit of CS:GO news.
Yeah. So Steel, Daze, and Swag. So these are some pretty big names that a lot of people have probably forgotten about. Now, ESL tweeted out the other day that these guys, as long as a lot of other ones, so the ex-iBuyPower and the what's the other team? The ex-Epsilon people.
Epsilon.
So they're all unbanned. So they had an indefinite match-fixing ban, both teams. And those guys were banned from ESL competitions. They're banned from Valve, and they're never getting back into Valve tournaments ever again. Once Valve gives you a permaban or an indefinite ban, good luck. Good luck. You're done. So those guys, ESL is lifting this indefinite match fixing ban from those two teams. So Swag, Steel, Dazed, AZK, Skadoodle, that guy got out of it. There's a whole lot of backstory you can go on about with this. Though these guys were playing as Team iBuyPower, they were doing amazing. And then they decided they wanted some more money. So they ended up doing a whole bunch of match fixing that was caught with screenshots of Skype conversations and all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, they got, well, not unfortunately, it was deservedly for match fixing. You can't do that. They got banned. They're never going to be able to play in a major because Valve runs majors. However, ESL Pro League, ESEA, they're not Valve run. They're not Valve sponsored. That means that they could get back in. Now, a lot of people are thinking, hey, why don't we sign these guys on? We can do some flip-flopping, when we do ESL or ESEA matches. We can have Steel or Dazed or Swag in. And then when we go to the majors, we can bring back like FNS or Kusta or something like that, and swap them in for the major events. But I think if we brought these guys on, CLG as an organization, they should be on as a coach or on as a role kind of coach, a strategic coach, somewhere along there. I don't think they should actually be players for the sheer fact that we can't use them in everything. And at the same time, who knows how Valve would take that when going for the major. Yes, CLG as a team is not banned from the majors because we haven't done any match fixing, but we now have a bunch of people on our team that did get into match fixing and are banned. So it's very questionable, and personally, as much as I think they would be a boon, I think there's also a really a bad side to getting those guys on.
But in Valve-sponsored tournaments, there are no coaches that are allowed.
There are no coaches that are allowed.
So would it be an issue there if they were just coaches?
As just coaches, they are allowed.
Or role coaches.
Role coaches, anything like that, they are, because that's not part of the Valve event. You can't have the coach on the bench or behind the players or anything like that on Valve events now. But at the same time, what it does is it casts doubt to other people. So, yes, okay, having these guys, they've probably still been playing amazingly, in ESEA and stuff like that, on the private servers essentially of CS:GO. But at this point in time, it just, there's so many people looking at the players and coaches of teams that, do you really want another Sub Rosa style event coming to CLG? Now, people who might not have followed along.
Look, it's easy. Just don't get caught.
Yeah. Sub Rosa had a pretty sketchy past, and a lot of people actually claimed he was cheating a lot, and you could see it and how he doesn't perform at majors, or in LAN events, only online he performs really well, and that he must be cheating. And it brought a lot of controversy. I believe in the end, that's actually probably what made him step down. Not only that he was slightly underperforming in his role with CLG, but also the fact that everyone was just calling him a cheater and wouldn't let up on it, even though no one could give him good hard proof that he was cheating.
Yeah, that kind of community witch hunt can really take a toll on you. I think we've seen that as CLG fans with Link.
Yep.
Deserve it or not.
Right? Exactly. It's just something that it casts a shadow of doubt on the organization as well as on all of our players, because we bring these guys in who have been banned for match fixing. Like, what's to stop them from trying it again? They have literally nothing to lose. They can't play at Valve sponsored events anymore. Like, they can only play in like ESL or ESEA, but all the money and glory is at a major, which is Valve sponsored.
Well, what if we have them put on the little eyeglasses with mustaches?
We are not steel. We are not dazed. We are not swag. We are iron and aware and swag.
All right.
Okay, we've gone over that enough.
Let's move on. All right.
So,
do you want to start off with SFAT or Fat Waffles?
Fat Waffles, yes. So, DreamHack Atlanta was on this weekend, peoples, and there was quite a lot of events. There was some Melee, there was some Wii U, and H1Z1. So, we'll start off, though, with our Melee, which is SFAT. Unfortunately, Pew Pew U didn't make it. So, in doubles, SFAT actually teamed up with Homemade Waffles. So, I thought the name Fat Waffles would be great, Fat stacks of cash, fat waffles. I mean, who doesn't like a fat waffle for breakfast? Okay, so we'll start off on singles. So SFAT. Our boy SFAT was at DreamHack Atlanta, of course. We were just talking about that. And he crushed it in his pools. He went 2-0 the entire way, beating Dr. Toboggan, What, Period, Soap, and OT. All super clean.
Yeah, it's not just what. It's
what with a period. Yes, it's
very important.
Very important that period is there. So right into the winners bracket, SFAT showed Cyrox how to play Fox and beat him down 3-1. Next up was Chudat, the Dirty Ice Climbers main, and it was a tough match as usual. Ice Climbers always give those Fox, and especially SFAT has really struggled against Ice Climber mains. But you know what? This time, SFAT ended up victorious and beat him 3-2. Then came Hungry Box. So, Jigglypuff God himself, the man of a little bit of controversy from Evo about the whole coaching thing popping up. A lot of people wanted SFAT to absolutely crush Hungry Box, but unfortunately the Jigglypuff man was too puffy. Unfortunately, SFAT goes down to Hungry Box 2-3. So that means he gets knocked into the losers bracket, and then SFAT faced off against Axe and his feisty little freaking Pikachu with a stupid little hat. That stupid Fucking hat. After a super tough battle, though, Axe did prevail and beat SFAT 2-3. This means that SFAT finishes in 5th place. So actually, that's a really good showing for our guy. Especially at DreamHack Atlanta. I mean, coming off the EVO, having a great showing at EVO, both in doubles and singles. Comes out and he's like, you know what? I can do this again next week. Boom, 5th place. Easy.
Right. So going along with singles, we mentioned you've paired up with Homemade Waffles. They start off in their pools, and they actually crush Brochill and Cookie, that combo. And then they go on to crush Moses and Shamond 2-0. From there, they go up against the Rick and Lance in the Pants team 2-1. From there...
Sorry, go ahead.
From there, they actually move on to the winner's bracket, and they go up against Hungry Box. Hungry Box again. Hungry Box and Crunch. And this, again, tight match, but they go down 1-2. And they get knocked into the loser's bracket. From there, they actually face I Love Crispix, and they win 2-0. Moving on, they go up against Zoso and Crush. They win, and they do 2-0 against them. Following that, they meet Cyrox and Gatsu. Again, another 2-0, and this puts them right into the top 4. Now, in the loser's semifinals, the duo faces off against Hungry Box and Crunch yet again.
Yep.
And it goes down the same way.
It's brutal, man. Hungry Box just...
Same damn way, 1-2.
He has SFAT's number or something, man. I don't know what's up with this. Hungry Box is an amazing player, amazing Smash player, but he just has our number this weekend.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this puts them into the 4th place finish, which isn't a bad finish at all, to be honest.
Coming off of 1st place with his buddy PewFat, I mean, PewFat is just the amazing doubles combo in Melee. It's hand down the best combo to watch. Fox and Marth, like, awesome. Fat, Homemade Waffles, you know, he's coming in, he's playing that Falco, and Falco Fox is a good duo. But it doesn't have the kill pressure that the Marth Fox combo does. You know, like you do the bounces and everything, and then you get to that tip. You friggin' tip that live in hell. When anyone who doesn't know what this is, Marth is a fencing type. Marth has a long sword, and actually does more damage when you hit with the very tip of the sword on your smashes. So it's really weird because Marth is tipping, and then Roy, who is also in Melee, who has never ever played ever, because instead of having it at the tip, Roy has it at the base of the sword at the guard. So it's like with Marth, you want to be further away and have the distance, and when you hit that tip, it's called a tipping. It's ridiculous damage, brutal. Anyways, you don't have that pressure of the sweet tips with the up smash or the down airs, you know, so you know what, 4th place, amazing finish. So let's move on to Wii U, where our boy Void ended up playing. Naka wasn't showing up this weekend. I'm not sure where everybody was, but you know, he had a good showing coming out of Evo, so you know what, he needs some time. Anyways, in Wii U singles, in his pools, his first match ended up being a no-show, straight up disqualification. So I mean, that's an easy win. But after that, he's like, hey, you can't throw me off. You can't throw me off. And he crushed the living heck out of Whiskey and Rooski 2-0. Then he faced off against MVD, and beat him down 2-1. In the winner's bracket, though, he faced off against Ally, C9 Ally, the friggin' Smash 4 god, and he beat his stupid Mario face down 3-1. Next up was Sam Sora, who gave Void actually a really hard time. This was a pretty tough match, the Princess Peach matchup. But, you know what? Void showed him that, you know what? I can be a Princess Zelda and beat your butt down, buddy. Void showed him up and showed that Sheik is way better of a princess than freaking Peach, and beat him down 3-2. Larry Lure was his next opponent, but the Fox main got crushed 3-0. Tweak, though, the annoying Cloud main, was his next challenger. We all know freaking Tweak from his goddamn Cloud Buster. Fuck. Giving him a hard time as well. And Tweak even pulled out his DK, but you know what? Wasn't enough to take down our boy. Void beat Tweak 3-2. And this puts Void into the grand finals, winners bracket grand finals. It means he has to be beaten twice in order to lose. And coming up from the losers bracket was Salem, MVP Salem. You guys might remember him from last week if you got to tune into some of that smash at EVO. Salem actually came in and did a reverse sweep of TSM Zero. It was quite the show to watch. He actually beat Zero with 2 stocks left at 150% damage. It was crazy. The entire crowd thought Zero was about to win. And then Salem was like, Anyways, after an amazingly close 5 rounds, Salem does come ahead in the first one, 2-3. So like I said, because Void was in the winner's bracket though, Salem needed to beat him twice. Unfortunately, Salem did the same thing he did to freaking to Zero last time and beat Void 1-3 in the second one. This means that Void finishes second place though at DreamHack Atlanta, so we really can't complain.
Oh yeah, that's
crazy. A good showing by Void. Absolutely amazing.
So moving on to the doubles bracket, Void actually paired up with Cosmos because NatCat was unable to make it, much like Pew Pew.
Yeah.
So in the pools, they actually demolished their competition, 2-0s all across the board up against Moppin and Kip, and then Eldon and Kamikaze. From there, they also beat Anti and Samasora 2-1. From there, they move into the winners' quarters finals, and there they face off against MK Leo and Ali. And unfortunately, these two were a pretty tough duo. They beat us 0-2. From there, they go and they're pretty pissed off at this point. What do? They take out their anger and they go up against Salty One and Hyper Kirby.
They definitely made him salty.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for something. Moving up next, they go up against Scat and Larry Lur. Yes, his name is Scat.
Yep.
Awesome.
I just love letting you read these great names. Lance in the Pants and Scat.
Not the name I would have used, but... So anyways, they beat them 2-1, and this puts the Void Cosmos duo up in the top 6 match, and they meet Tweak and Captain Zack.
Oh, dirty Cloud Mains.
Dirty Cloud Main. And you know what's worse? What's a dirty Bayonetta?
Bayonetta. So cheap, man. Yeah. So cheap. So easy.
Bayonetta and Cloud. Yep. Yeah, it was a tough match, and they ended up losing that 0-2. Yeah. So this means that they have a 5th place finish at DreamHack Atlanta.
Again, for a team that doesn't usually play together, they had really good showing by the boys. Yep. Yeah. So there's no Overwatch news this week either, but hey, we got some H1Z1. Like, it's been a long time since we've got to see some H1Z1 news or even event. Yes. So this was another event at DreamHack Atlanta. So DreamHack is really paying off this weekend.
Absolutely. So the team was put together for the H1Z1 Fight for the Crown tournament, and keep in mind, this is a tournament that aired back on the CW channel all the way back in April. Yeah. Now, the game returned for the inaugural tournament, the H1Z1 Elite Series. Now, the Elite Series is a circuit that hosts multiple tournaments throughout the year in North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Latin American regions. And each event features $250K in prize money. Yeah. So, this tournament is actually broken down into 2 tournaments. This is a solo tournament and a team tournament. So, CLG Flamehopper was seeded into the solo tournament, and the other 4 members of the squad had to duke it out in the quarters. So that means Grimy Bear and .FPS were in the quarters group A, Nightwalker and Calzi were in group B. Now for the team, the CLG team was already invited to the main tournament, so they got to skip the quarters, and they played directly on Sunday.
Sweet.
So we have the VODs for the event, and we will put them up in the show notes. Yeah. So do you want to go over how the solo players did? Let's start with that.
So we'll start with Group A. So it's the FPS and Grimy Bear, or Grimy Bear. I forget how he pronounces his name. It's been a while since I've heard it. Anyways,
I think Grimy Bear
they played.
Better.
Yeah, Grimy Bear does. Grimy Bear is weird. So they each player had to play 2 matches, and these are 150 people dumped into a battle royale match, and
the top 20 from each team move on.
So DFBS in match 1 actually got 2nd place. So he got a 3K with 133,000 points. In match 2, he got 15th place with 2Ks, which is 2 kills, and 73,880 points for an overall of 4th place. So he gets in. Boom. Easy. Grammy Bear had a pretty unstellar match 1 of 42nd at 43,170 points and only 1 kill. But his match 2 more than made up for it with a 3rd place finish at 121,310 points and 3 kills, putting him at 9th place with 164,480 points and 4 kills. Group B, we had CLG, and he in match 1 got 13th place, so respectable finish, 78,310 points, but no kills. Match 2, he got 18th place, and that gave him a 68,270 point thing. Again, no kills. He didn't actually get a single kill the entire qualifiers. But you know what? He got 15th place overall, meaning he gets invited in with 146,580 points, but 0 kills.
That's what matters.
Yeah, it all matters about you placing, man. And then Nightwalker gets in match 1, 8th place, 92,010 points with 2 kills. Match 2, 7th place, so even stepped it up a little bit. 95,860 points and 2 kills for a 4th place finish overall of 187,870 points and 4 kills. So all 4 of our CLG boys ended up getting into the solo final tournament, which is amazing. So this was a best of 3.
Right. So one thing that you're seeing here is that you don't need kills to move on and to do well in the game.
It's all about the finishing.
They do greatly help your score.
Yes.
So let's actually go from the bottom up for the solo finals. Let's start with CLG. CLG actually, in match 1, he places 51st, I should say. And then in match 2, 37th. And then followed up with match 3 with a 46th place finish.
That's pretty brutal.
So it was. Yeah. So DFP, and keep in mind, so this is top 20 that's moving on. So you got 40 players from there, and I forget how many people actually got directly placed to the actual tournament. But DFPS it places 35th and then 14th in match 2, and in match 2, 74k points with 1 kill, and then 21st in the last match. Nightwalker goes and gets 13th with 3 kills and just 1,000 shy of 80k in terms of points. In the second match, he places 45th with 0 kills. And in match 3, he actually places a whopping 6th place with 98k in points and 0 kills. Again, 0 kills, but 6th place.
Yep. That's all it takes, man.
Just
gotta survive.
Just under 100,000 points. So Grimy Bear places 6th. 102,000 points and 4k in kills. And then in match 2, big drop, actually goes to 39th.
Wow. It's pretty bad.
Match 3 recovers a little bit and gets 22nd, still no kills, and this actually hurts. But Flamehopper, remember we mentioned Flamehopper was directly seeded into the tournament, and for match 1, he goes in 5th place, 103,000 points with 0 kills. Match 2, 8th place with 90k points, 0 kills. Match 3, places 30th, 51k points, and guess how many kills?
1.
0 kills once again. He gets 0 kills the entire tournament.
0 kills the entire tournament. And yet he got...
But he gets 9th place with a combined score of 460 points.
Yep.
And this puts him, as I mentioned, at 9th place. And he gets a whopping $2,000 just for himself.
That's not bad at all, man. I would take that. Yeah, so then we got into the team tournament finals. So as Nefarious was saying, CLG got automatically seeded into the finals, so they didn't have to do a qualifier or anything like that. And in match 1, We got third place with 109,960 points and 6 kills. Pretty good showing. Match 2, again, third place, 108,960 points, 5 kills. So pretty solid. Match 3, though, first place, winner, chicken dinner. Yes, I know that's a different game, but that's a better game. With 185,000 points, and are you ready for this? 11 kills.
FPS was the kill leader.
Yes, he had 6 kills. Amazing showing. Overall, for a total score of 403,920 points and 22 kills, CLG gets first place. Boom. Amazing. Can't complain with that. A wicked CLG win for the H1Z1 boys.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm just thinking back to, we also had another first place team in the CLG Halo team.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
I remember.
I don't know. It just came to me right now. I don't know why I thought of that.
Good old Royal 2, man. Now they're Optic Gaming.
Yeah.
If they are still. I stopped following Halo as soon as we lost those guys. And I'm not really sure if Halo esports still exists or not. And if they're still playing, I hope they are, because they were really nice guys, and I really liked the content that they really brought to CLG. Yeah. So that's basically what happened in CLG this week.
We do actually have some notes though, or some news, I should say.
Yeah.
So CLG is actually hosting a community ARAM night on Thursday, the 27th of July, and we'll link that in the show notes. But basically, you go and you join up on their Discord channel. You be a member of that. They have a quick Google form you sign up, and you can sign up as a team, or you can sign up as an individual. If you sign up as a team, you point one player to be a captain, and you can't have more than 3 plat members. And I presume that's 3 plat or higher members. And if you sign up as an individual, you'll be randomly assigned to a team, and the captain will be selected randomly.
Very nice.
Yep. So I know we'll be signing up as a CLG faithful team.
Yep. Hopefully we can get 5 people.
Yeah. So if anyone would like to join us on the team, just let us know in Discord.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let us know soon.
Yeah, because it kind of needs to be signed up, the night before the night. Like, ideally, the 26th.
Right.
It was a day. We just want to go and have some fun with some fellow CLG fans. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I want to win,
First place
dude.
prize is a 10 RP card for each player. So, I mean, that's pretty sweet.
I want to win.
Yeah, I'd like to win, too. I mean, it's ARAM. Literally anything can go. You could freaking roll, like, Nidalee, Blitzcrank, a Moo, Sona, and like a Tristana.
That's a great.
Like you could get that.
What do you mean anything?
You could get that, and you could just be like, "Oh, well, we win, right?" Like, I mean, as long as everyone like knows the basic mechanics of the champion they get, that's like
or you can get something like Evelyn and Yorick and a whole bunch of useless.
Evelyn, Yorick, Teemo, Twitch.
Hey, Teemo's great.
Twitch, and.
Also good.
Yeah, but you have nothing but invisibility. Like, yeah, okay, they don't know where you are, but, like, you're going to be in the bush. All right, guys. So, yeah, that was episode 25 of the CLG Faithful podcast.
We actually have one more set of news. That's right. You can actually now get your custom names printed on a jersey.
I thought you could do that before.
In the store.
You could...
No, you couldn't. I tried that earlier this year, and you couldn't do that.
Oh.
But they also seem to have stocked up the store. And you know what that means? It means that the salt shakers are back.
Are the salt shakers back? Oh, man.
Salt shakers are back.
Oh, did they restock it after? Oh, sons of... I mean, okay, the CLG Fighting mousepad went on sale, and I instantly bought it. Like, I didn't even look anywhere else. Boom. CLG Fighting mousepad sold. I got one.
Yeah, I believe you can still use the player names and get a slight discount. I'm using Darshan.
Yep, I got my Darshan and Afromo jerseys.
Nice. I say that. I don't even play top lane.
I just like Darshan and Afromo. They're my favorite, like, League of Legends players in general.
I just love all their work.
Yeah, they're just great.
All right.
They do have them back.
I think that's all we've got.
It would be like I could buy one, and then it would be $5 US plus $8 US in shipping.
Maybe I'll send one to you.
Okay.
You can use the salt shaker.
I'll use the salt shaker and be a little salty. All right, guys. This has been us signing off for episode 25 of the CLG Faithful podcast. It is a weekly podcast that goes over all things CLG. If you enjoy what we do, then please definitely take a couple of minutes to follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, or give us a rating on iTunes or Google Play. You can also follow us on SoundCloud or something like that too. Those are also places you can do that. And we love getting feedbacks. Please, you can send us an email over at clgfaithful@gmail.com. We promise we'll respond, and we really like getting comments, criticism, praise, ideas, anything like that. We really appreciate all that. And yeah, that's been the show.
Absolutely. And we're also open on Twitter. So just follow us or message us at CLG Faithful on that. And I know I've been a little relaxed on that. A little busy with work, but I hope to get back on that very soon.
All right. So now that that's over, we have one more thing to say, and that is the League of Legends fantasy draft we have been doing with the community, and that's going pretty good. Hey, I mean,
it's going fantastic.
You're definitely having a good time. You're
great
6-1. I mean.
Damn right I mean,
I'm in a 3-way tie for second place with Profiana as his Kavfefe Logic Gaming and Dar Shits, who we're all 4-0-3, But everyone else is kind of just like, kind of just losing.
Well, it's interesting. So I'm winning at the top with a 2-game lead. Yep. And then you've got a 3-way tie for second place. Yep. And then you have a 3-way tie for
fifth place.
I guess fifth place. They're all 3-0-4,
yeah.
So that could actually change a
very
lot
quickly.
This week.
Yeah, I'm playing against my team's up against Dar Shits. What a fucking name, Dar Shits. Anyways, I'm up against him, so it's basically it's kind of like we were just doing this week against Immortals, but I'm gonna win.
And then at the very bottom is Who He Said PogChamp, who unfortunately we've not seen Who He Said this split.
No, we haven't seen Who He Said or PogChamp this split, and he's 1-0-6 unfortunately. But you know what? He could make a comeback. He could go 3-0-6.
You know what the best part is? I don't even have the most accumulative points.
No, you don't.
I'm actually really low
I have
total
more
points.
cumulative points than you do, but I have 2 less wins.
I'm near the bottom in cumulative points.
Yeah, you're like in 3rd place with cumulative points.
That's great.
That's kind of ridiculous. Profiana actually has the most at 2.4 million.
But he's going to lose to me this week.
He is. You're going to crush him.
He's probably not. He's got people playing Nip.
Oh, God. Yep, that's right. He does.
Okay, he's got 2 UL players who are playing against Mysterious Monkeys. He's got Perks who's playing against Nip, and he's got Reckless and Caps and Fnatic.
Yep.
Like, why? That's not fair.
He's just gonna roll in the points. Basically, is what's gonna happen there.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's like number padding right there.
Man, if there's ever a time for Nip and Mysterious Monkeys to pull out.
Yeah. Get Nip their first win of the split. They're 0-9. It's kind of sad actually. Because they're
just like Origin.
Yeah, because there's actually relegation in Europe this year, unlike North America. All right, we should really wrap this up, peoples. So I've been Artrin. Thank you guys very much for watching.
And I'm Nefarious. And if you've been listening to this long, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening to the very tail end of this, you have heard some fantastic commentary, have you? They not? I think so. You can follow me, Artrin, at Artrin1680 on Twitter, or you can follow me on Twitch if that ever so pleases you at the same address, twitch.tv/Artrin1680. Nefarious, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at NEFARI0USS.
Perfect.
So that's all I got for now.
All right, guys. Have a fantastic night, and peace out.
See you, everyone.